back anytime. Okay, great. Okay, thanks for joining, everybody. I'm guessing most of you are part of the SI community anyway, so we won't go into too much detail. My name is Marissa. I'm the lead for the Singapore Hub, and with me are my two fellow organisers, Wesley and Anna, and also I see Jacqueline here, who's also one she's kind of in Singapore but not, and Joss as well, who's obviously kind of in the background there, but an instrumental part of the community. So this session today is the second or third part of the series that we're running on inequality, and we started this this kind of series at the end of last week, where we had a first topic, which was a panel discussion, the first session, which was a panel discussion featuring three of our speakers and kind of key experts. And Tanuja is one of them who's here with us today, so that's great. The other two were cocreation and Marissa Kalogan. They all share different perspectives on inequality, the topic of inequality, and kind of drilled down into their special kind of specialities. And then today we then had a bonus session with David Show. I think some of you have seen that on the social media and the Mighty Networks platform. That's a really interesting talk as well. So both sessions are recorded and available. So if you want to go back and if you haven't already watched those, we kind of recommend that you do, just because they were great content and really interesting and kind of useful perspectives. And so today we will go into actually using some of that information and gathering our own perspectives. So this will be using a tool that I think some of you may have used. We're actually experimenting and practicing with it. So hopefully we'll get some new kind of skills and new understanding of how to use this particular canvas. And I will now hand over to Anna.
Okay, Marissa, thank you. Just maybe if you don't know us, Marissa and I are also business partners. We have a sustainability-led innovation kind of consultancy firm in Singapore. We're located in Singapore. And we are part of the SI community. We really want to use the systems approach in solving the challenges that organizations are facing, whatever they are and wherever they are. So that's where our interest is. And thank you for joining us and kind of jumping on the wagon to learn with us together. So that's a little bit about, I guess, me and Marissa together. Wesley, would you like to say a few words about yourself?
All right. Thanks, Anna. Good day, everybody. Wesley Boers, originally from Belgium, now also 3 years in Singapore. I started off as a chemical engineer in fast-moving consumer goods. A lot about product innovation, but then through becoming a certified coach, I came in touch with systemic coaching, because that's actually my entrance to system thinking, system design, looking at living systems and coaching people with a systemic perspective. And that, of course, that passion of system brought me in contact with the hub, with Marissa, with Anna, and that's a bit my role here, supporting these two lovely ladies. And that's a bit about myself, and looking forward to co-create with you today.
Thank you, Wesley.
All right. So I think now it's a quick Miro tutorial, if I'm not mistaken. So I'll go to my screen, I'll share it. Okay, you should all see the Miro board. We're going to jump in a second, if you get the access to a very informal check-in. But just to make you aware of what I think most of us know Miro, I see some big experts like Hannah in the room, so what I'm about to tell will not blow her away. So if you want to create stickies, it's the fourth one from the top on this toolbar on the left. You choose a color and then you put it just on the board. You can then start typing in it. So very simply, you can change colors if you want. Then if you click it, you'd say copy paste. You can start copying and pasting a lot of post-its. You can also, if you click the left button and you drag over them, you select all of 3 of them. If I copy them, I get 6 in a row. So that's all the things you can do. For today, what we need you to do is, of course, create some stickies, put some input in it. Maybe if you select all of them, you could also here on the top right side, group them, and then it's one group you can bring forward. And then if we cluster something, you can take another color and say, oh, this is about, yes, society, whatever. And that's a bit a cluster. So I think this is, the key actions we need to do today. Create stickies, cluster them, put a header on it in another color. Anything I missed, Anna, Marissa, in terms of a quick tutorial?
And if and of course we will be around in the breakout rooms, jumping in and out. And if you need any help, you can ask your teammates or us to help. But as Wesley said, these are pretty basic kind of functions that you use in all the other many other applications on the computer. Yeah.
And if you have any questions, go to Hannah Hertwig, because she's a fantastic expert in system mapping. So she knows 1,000 times more about than me on these things. Okay.
You'll have the opportunity now to practice, and I'll put the link to Miro board here. Oh, Marissa already did. Sorry, I missed that. Thank you, Marissa. Okay, too many.
Yeah, I see people populate. So I'll bring everybody to me in a second. I'll wait a couple seconds for everybody to jump on the Miro board. So how many people are we? We're 19.
I can share the screen just so for the recording, everybody will see where we are.
Yeah. So we're here at this welcome to the workshop wall of mental states, the mur in French. But you see a lot of different characters, all with a number on it. So I'll bring everybody to me if that also helps. Oh, I think I'm not able because I'm a guest editor, but I think Anna is showing where we need to be.
Yep, I can.
Or you can bring everybody to you if that helps.
I can do that.
Yeah. And the thing is, you see people walking on a tightrope, people, supporting each other on the top left side. Somebody staring out of a window, somebody sleeping. So just how do you feel today? What's your emotional or mental check-in? Just show how you feel at the moment. And for me, I'm a bit, let me have a look. I'm a bit number 7. So I'll say here, Wesley, and you can put a sticky on the board. And I'm Wesley, and I'm floating away, and I'm floating together with you on this co-creation journey. So feel free to take a post-it and put your name next to avatar that represents your mental state.
I'm creating some extra stickies on the side to kind of.
Great.
If you need to.
Yeah, if you need to take one, just grab one.
Easier to,
Great. I hope, Paolo, it's not too harsh. You're falling, so I hope it's like a positive fall into something new, not too negative. So Marissa is walking the rope. I see. Joss, is that you're waking up, or you're on top of the world? Ali is a bit.
That's too much coffee, Wesley. That's
too much coffee. Okay, that can also be the case.
Where's Joss? Joss is number 10.
Yeah. So Hannah, are you the left person because you have this cluster of 4 people? Is it the left side, the 1 or the 2, the one supporting one?
Just kind of part of the group doing something together.
All right. Cool. Okay. Nice to see. Thanks. Thanks everybody for a bit check-in how we feel today. It's good to see where all of us are, and let's come together and go on this co-creation event. And then I'll pass the word to Anna.
Thank you. Thanks, Wesley. It's actually quite fun. Thanks for doing that. Okay, so as Marissa said, we had one plus sessions that provided information, a lot of insights and some thoughts about inequality from systems perspective. And in case if you didn't participate in those sessions, didn't listen into the recordings, I didn't have time, there are a few quotes that we put here just, I guess, as an inspiration. They're not a must. Of course, everybody, all of us have our own kind of buckets of knowledge and understanding of what inequality is. But I just wanted to pick maybe a few to kind of start with. I really like that one here. We have a tendency to resort to quick fixes because it makes the problem symptom lesser. It makes us feel good that we're doing something. And also that societies are connected clusters, but we design policies as if they're random, ignoring systemic properties and effects. Another one is that beware of the unintended consequences of policies and interventions for short term. Often they're driven by financial gain. And whilst the immediate success may be observable, there are many longer term issues that can arise in the system later on that are intensified and manifesting as social issues that cannot be easily fixed with an early wins of money or with the same leverage as the initially intended outcomes. So I'm not going to go over all of them. If you kind of feel stuck and maybe you need a little bit of inspiration, you can always navigate into this left hand side of the board and take a peek. That's okay. So today, quickly, we are going to use this canvas, which is the Leverage Points Ideation canvas with a challenge in the center. And the challenge is that we've kind of formulated is it's broad and it's purposely broad. It's systemic inequality, or creating a more equitable society. You can refer to either, whatever makes it easier for you. And just quickly to take you kind of through the flow of the session today. So we're going to do a quick kind of tune in to the topic, where each of us individually will going to put as many stickies as we can, whatever comes up about inequality in our head. Then we'll go into the breakout rooms to do some activities. We'll come out of breakout rooms, then go there again. We will be guiding you all along the way, so no worries. And instructions are written on these other separate parts of the board that are relevant, will be relevant. So we will be doing some work in smaller groups, in breakout rooms, and then some parts of the work we're going to go together and eventually on the canvas. That's it, I think. Would love the feedback if you can stay after that, not immediately drop off. Hopefully we're planning to have, the session was planned to be 75 minutes. And we're about 15 minutes now into the introduction. I think we're great on time. We'll have 1 hour to do all of that, which I think should be a good way to proceed. Anything I forgot? If not, then we can begin. Marissa, would you, whoops, yes, okay. Here's the tuning in. Stop, tuning in. I will bring everybody here. This is the white board, or maybe Marissa, if you can. Bring everybody to the board. It's a white frame, sorry. And the task is to write as many post-its as you can on the subject of inequality. And we'll have 2 minutes for it. Okay, we can start. And I keep sharing the screen so as you can see.
Shall we put on some Miro music or?
Sure.
Yeah. With the
Music.
timer. Yeah.
The timer. Yes, I can put a timer. I don't know if people see it though.
Yeah. And then.
You can see?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're
Yes,
sharing.
I'm sharing, right? Of course. I'm sharing.
If you click below, then if you stop for a second, if you pick music, it's a nice tune to it. So if you pause.
Where's the music, Wesley?
Yeah, if you pause now first.
Yes.
Stop it.
Stop. Okay.
Yeah. Stop timer.
Stop timer. Yep.
Then pick music. So under the 2 minutes.
I see.
And then say sunshine jam or whatever.
Smooth groove.
Yeah. Papa.
Okay, we now have 1 minute.
Yeah.
You guys can hear it? Yeah. Okay, because I can't. Let me know. If there are, everybody got the link? I hope so. Okay. If any help is needed with the stickies, maybe we can add some.
Yeah, I'll add a couple.
Just to help people make it quicker. You can just grab these stickies that I'm creating.
Couple on the left side as well.
Oh, okay. The link. Yep. Here you are, Dean. You received. Okay. Hands up. Thank you very much. Very interesting ideas here. Well, that's great. Hope that everybody warmed up to the session. Now we are going to start. And let me just unlock this. Yeah, and I'll delete it. So you see here, there are 6 boards. Well, we don't need all 6. Just wait for it for a second, actually. We are going to put you in breakout rooms so you can discuss in small groups, okay? So Marissa, I opened the boards a little bit earlier before the breakout rooms, but just bear with us, please. So
I hope this goes right. Sorry, am I putting people in breakout rooms?
I didn't receive notification.
No, but I'm sorry. Are you ready for me to put people in breakout rooms?
Yes. So
I guess, yeah.
You can create breakout rooms.
Yeah.
And the first activity going to be in those breakout rooms that will ask you to spending some time, a few minutes, identifying important forces that impact how the systems works in favor or against our challenge statement. The challenge statement is in the upper top corner of a board that you will have. It could be people, trends, events, norms, beliefs, phenomenon, institutions, laws, policies, everything. And then start discussing and kind of exchanging ideas or thoughts and helping kind of to formulate it. On the boards, if you can also put stickies with your names, who are the members, because later we would like you to go back to those same rooms. Just pick a board when you are in the breakout rooms. Write your team name, whatever you want it to be, and put your names there as well. The first activity will be about 10 minutes. So write on one sticky either enablers, enabler on one side and inhibitors on the other side. And just put them on those white boards on the left and the right. Okay.
I think we'll have 3 teams, I guess, around 4 to 5 people.
Yeah, about
correct?
4 or 5 people in the room.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Yeah, I've sorry, just to say, I've labelled them already, team 1, 2, and 3. So please find the board that you're according to the room you're in as well. So the board's numbers correlate to the room numbers you're in as well. So hopefully we don't all get lost. I'll be in room 1, just so you guys know, and I will come into room 1. So here we go. Hopefully, let's see what happens.
Yeah. Okay, I will join now. I will need to start.
Now, how do I get to room 1? Okay, hold on, sorry. Oh, am I, where am I? How do I get to room 1 myself?
You should see down at the bottom 4 little boxes for breakout rooms, and click on that, and then it gives you options, know where you want.
Oh yeah, join. Sorry, yeah, I couldn't find the
Yeah.
join. Thank you. Hi guys. Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So, did you guys get the instructions? Do you need me to repeat the instructions, or are you okay? We will start. Okay, you guys seem to be pros at this already. Obviously, start. We should come up with a team name, and also, yeah, obviously, put your name into the box. I've got to try and make. I'll share my screen. Let me just. Sorry, let me just start my timer because I've got a few things going on here. Okay. So yeah, don't forget to put your name. We haven't got a team name. Do we want to find a team name? If anyone can be creative quickly or on the fly, feel free to plonk a team name there. And then obviously we've got about 10 minutes to put enablers and inhibitors for the challenge of systemic inequality or creating a more equitable society.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I just have a question, Marissa. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, sorry, what was your question?
Yeah,
sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, it's okay. Hi, I'm Ali. In terms of, so you're talking about enablers and inhibitors. So this would be an enabler to an equitable society, or an inhibitor to a more equitable society, or is it an enabler of systemic inequality?
No, good question. So the reason mainly for this is actually just to, it doesn't matter which one, right? Because we'll go in and we'll all cluster things anyway. Okay. This grouping is just to kind of prompt you. And this is exactly what we do, because when we're going through this as a canvas, we're like, well, people will have this exact question. And what we don't want to do is stop people from being able to put anything down because it doesn't fit into a box. Right, we will later on cluster them and kind of assign them into places. So it doesn't matter for now, as long as you remember which one you kind of will be thinking for.
Okay.
It's merely a prompt for us to get some of these things out. Yeah. And feel free to kind of explain and kind of ask each other's opinions here if you want as well, because it can be quite. Did any of you guys end up going to the sessions that we held? Did anyone make those?
No, this is the first session for me.
Yeah.
Okay. They're really good sessions, actually.
Yeah, I didn't attend them, but I watched them and reviewed.
Oh, okay. Nice. Okay, sorry, did I show? Can you guys see that? Yes. I think that's useful. Sorry, just in case you want, if you want to see that, obviously. Wow, we've got quite a few considering there's only 5 of us, well, 6 of us in here. Does anyone want to share any specific thoughts they have for now with the rest of the group? Anyone brave enough to share something? Hannah, I can see you smiling.
No, I'm just yeah, in the middle of collecting stickies and
Okay.
reading everyone else's.
You can't synthesize yet already. We're not there yet. Your brain starts working really quickly. Ali, did you want to share something? It'd be really good if you have some thoughts.
Sure. I mean, I guess one thing I'm noticing is I'm writing a lot with like quotation marks, sort of like almost metaphors. These are things I don't really know how to explain, but I think maybe the most maybe abstract one I've written is like shortcuts for the few. And what I mean by that is that, you know, certain times in certain bureaucracies, there are sort of like these hidden pathways or shortcuts that are, you know, allotted for the phone call to the higher up, and then you can go through this path. So these hidden shortcuts that are accessed by, you know, connections, at least where I'm from, that's very prevalent. It's almost like, it's not that the pathways don't exist, it's that they exist. You just have to make the phone call to avail it, you know? So that's what I mean by that.
Okay, interesting. Where are you right now?
I'm in Bahrain right now.
Ah, okay. I have never been, but it'd be interesting. I mean, it's always interesting to hear how things work in other countries and geography. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Dean? Andy? Like to pull out one of your post-its or kind of share a bit more?
Let me have a look. Yeah, I'm just reading Martha Nussbaum's capabilities approach at the moment, which is like super interesting. So I'm starting to put a couple of things there relate to that, which is interesting in so much it's not just about giving people stuff or making stuff available. It's ensuring people have the capabilities to be able to take advantage of what's there and realize their own potential. So it's saying that we need to go deeper into understanding what is needed for people to take advantage of the opportunities that are there, not just provide the opportunities. It's people's engagement with it. So this notion of capabilities is a super important idea of human development.
Yeah.
It builds on Amartya Sen's work, which was been quite famous for the last couple of decades.
Okay, I'm not familiar with it, but that's great. I mean, we should get this kind of repository going. I just put a message out that says 1 minute. Does everyone get that?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, thanks.
I didn't, but
1 minute.
one idea of
It's quite small, just on the top of the screen.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Okay, no worries. I will set the timer for the next breakout rooms. I'm going to make sure. I might have to ask you all to remember which room you're in so you can go back. And this is the first time I've been doing the actual breakout room control.
one idea I've just popped up is around, I've called it culturally informed science. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but it's certainly something I'm seeing more of a focus on. I'm in New Zealand, but in New Zealand and Australia, they're, rather than traditional, hard science-driven innovation, there's a lot more of trying to learn from the indigenous cultures.
Right,
and there's a lot of wisdom that actually science is catching up with a lot of that traditional wisdom as well. So there's an interesting blend where, the not almost sovereignty of knowledge from cultures, and New Zealand's a relatively new nation, but that's an interesting one. I think that's key to the future of technology and science. If we're unlocking some of that past wisdom.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, great. Listen, we've got to get back into the rooms. Perhaps we can have a bit of time to share as well when we go back. So please remember which room you're in, and we'll see you back here in about a couple of minutes. A bit off with the timings. Not too bad.
Hello, welcome back. Marisa, I think one thing, because how you perceive enablers and inhibitors, I think there is in some groups the opposite, but then we can switch sides easily.
Sorry, just to say, sorry, and I did anticipate that question, and we spent some time discussing it. And we said, actually, we just use those as the prompts, because otherwise people get stuck in it fits into a box or it doesn't. And then we can cluster them later. Otherwise, they get stuck in the clusters already. So that was, okay, but sure.
I found what was helpful for me, because I went into this kind of hole, mental hole, trying to figure out.
And then you dragged me in there, sorry.
Yes, and then I dragged her into this. So what I found useful is to think about forces that enable the perpetuation of the system and forces that kind of will break it down, in a sense. And that was helpful for me. I don't know if that will be helpful for you, but maybe take it on and try it on and see if it works. Okay, great. So now we'll have like just 2 minutes, really 2 minutes, whoever wants to share a little bit about those ideas that you put in, one or two, really, one from each roommate perhaps, and then we will show you how to cluster. What do we mean by clustering? And then we'll go into breakout rooms again. Okay. Marissa, do you want to take this one on?
Sure. I'll share screen quickly. So we get one from our group first. Sorry, just because I know I would like to ask either Ali or perhaps Dean to share. Either of you, who would like to share? Okay,
I'm happy to start it off if you like.
Please.
I interpreted enablers as I was looking at the more positive state. So creating a more equitable society, which I think that's the pattern we followed. And it was interesting because when I was looking at some of the things being popped up on inhibitors around sort of, the role of science, and one that just prompted for me, I put down here how Indigenous culture is starting to inform some of the more scientific-led R&D. And we're seeing a few trends along those lines in New Zealand and Australia, just around how they're actually really looking at some of the wisdom that Indigenous cultures have brought, and they're trying to explain that through science, and it's kind of creating some really interesting opportunities to make it more locally owned, shared, and driven innovation. So it was kind of an interesting trend in science. So that was just one that sort of popped up for me.
Thank you, Dean. Okay, should we go to team 2? Could we ask somebody from team 2 to share? Who wrote? Yeah, go.
I don't want to put everybody on the spot like Mai or Miguel. You want to share maybe 1 or 2 post-its that attract you?
Well, can you hear me? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in the enablers block, in my case, I highlighted the necessity of having more fair tax rules in all the, we all know about this tax. Well, in Spanish we say tax paradise. Whether it's the same word in English, but so better tax rules and better salaries. The minimum salary discussions we have in all over the world, but on top of that, we have to distribute the better the salaries. And one thing that we heard in the first meeting, meeting was the change, transition from pyramid to diamond society model. That thing she said. I forgot her name. Sorry, but it was an excellent explanation. Yeah, it was. I really appreciate what he said about that. It was fantastic. So having middle class more, stronger and well distributed across the world. This is something I highlighted. And also at the end, because here it's important, the service economy, but having a more balanced industrialization and not having all the manufacturers located in just one place in the world is something that we have to recover as well.
Great, thanks.
Thank you. Gracias.
Okay.
And team 3, please.
Well, I was in team 3. To you guys, there's some really interesting ideas there. Would you like to share? Steve was having some challenges to access the board, but Tubo, Paulo, would you like to?
Yeah, I have a lot of things to say on this one, but yeah.
Just one today for now.
Well, I'd say that disruptive technologies, AI, and really like the way that the thinking is changing and shifting is very important. I think we're in a place where there's been a rise in awareness in these conversations, which hasn't been done before. And there's also kind of the need to approach these problems in a different way, where, for example, here in Sweden, there's also been lots of talks of lack of representation for marginalized groups. So I feel like these are things that are taking a step forward, because even within this group, for example, who do we have here that has faced a lot of inequalities in our life, for example, that are really in the bottom percent. So I think just having this type of conversation with these people, with us, goes to represent that as well. So just something to point out. Yeah.
We also raised that in our early conversations when we were planning this, like who's actually in the room is not really truly representative of the people facing the inequality that we're talking about generally. Okay, great, thank you. So next we will be going back into our breakout rooms, and then we'll be kind of clustering what we have there, and then we'll come back into the rooms to discuss that again. Did I miss anything? We've got sort of about 12 minutes for that around.
Marissa, do you want to show kind of what we mean by clustering? Just quickly go over the board, the example board that we have, or do everybody are sufficiently kind of knowledgeable in this process, so we don't have to. I don't know. Just maybe quick to make sure everybody are on the same.
Yeah.
We can share in the rooms as well, because I think the three of us are in the room, so all fine.
Okay. You want to do that? That's fine too. Okay.
We have an example board, so just so you guys know.
Yes.
Yes.
I'll show it as well.
Okay.
I'll stop sharing. Sorry, I need to do the breakout rooms now. So okay, we just go back into the breakout rooms.
We given not enough time. 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do
10
it
minutes. Not 15. 10.
No. Well, I'll probably just it down.
I don't know where the time goes. Oh my god.
Okay. Okay, I hope this has worked. Oh, I should be. Oh, sorry.
And we started before.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay, sorry. So are you, okay, did anyone want to go over the clustering as a sort of how to, or are we all familiar with it, vaguely familiar with it?
If you do a very quick recap, that would help me.
Sure. Okay, this is what we kind of prepared for. Let me find the board first. Oh, here we go. Sorry. Let me share my screen. Okay, can you see? You can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Here's the example board. So we already had a bunch of the stickies there, and often, I mean, this is quite a personal way of doing things. I think it'd be good if we do it as a group, obviously. So we've already done this, and it depends on how your brain sees kind of connections or relations or patterns, however you want to describe it. How do you group things together? So that's why we didn't want to kind of be overly prescriptive in how we said the enablers and the inhibitors, to how you would just define those, because often you see things from a different perspective from other people, and you can kind of share back that process or that thinking. But it's normally putting things together in a way that makes sense for you or the people you're working with. And then you kind of give it an upper level theme. Hannah is very good at this. Hannah does this very quickly and very expertly, because it's the work that she does almost exclusively, if I'm not mistaken, Hannah. Do you have any other kind of better explanation that you could sort of give us that I haven't really shared?
No, I think I don't want to say too much. I think we can just get started and see how everyone does it.
Yeah. And I think, thanks, Hannah. I think it's kind of a process of emergence for the team or the individual when you're doing it. And so we don't want to already categorize for other people. But then we give them kind of these, if you look at this one, we kind of give it, oh, okay, this one seems like mental models, right? If you look at bias and preferences and, you know, risk aversity, these may be things like to do with your mental models. So it doesn't have to be that particular theme that I've given you. That's how we've clustered it based on our understanding how those things fit together. So I will stop sharing first. Let me go back to our board, and then I'll start sharing again here. So there's screen. Okay. I'd like to start grouping them. Anyone can make the. I think we could have one controller, Hannah or Ali. Which are you quite familiar with Miro, Ali?
Yeah.
Okay, would you be okay to kind of start kind of clustering? Anyone else wants to kind of put the two together to start the process?
So I'm a little unfamiliar with your request. So do you want me to begin clustering them? But then, like, are people going to be like telling me what to cluster?
Yeah. So it's quite hard to do this as a group, right? Often you do it as
right.
If you can see two that already fit together, maybe you can make the first mark.
Okay.
And you can do the physical moving if you're quite familiar with it. And we can kind of discuss as we go what works for us as a group, right? If we kind of are aligned on that, and if we're not aligned, that's okay. Dean, Adi, Andy, feel free, and Hannah knows obviously, feel free to kind of jump in and share your perspective. That's where we want to hear the different perspectives.
Sure. So I see like empathy, compassion, kind of obviously being in the same place, exchanging perspectives and collective decision making kind of as well. So this, you're starting to get this theme of participation, knowledge sharing, co-creation there. Is
anyone else? If anyone else, normally when we're doing this physically, it's quite easy because people can move and things like that. But because we can't see what everyone else is doing, it's a bit harder. That's why I kind of asked one person to take the lead a little bit. But if anyone else wants to jump in at any point, please feel free to do that.
Yeah, I would say education and access to knowledge are also in a similar place.
There's another one there, it's education. Yeah. I was wondering whether access was a thing, like there's access to funding as well as access to knowledge. So I wasn't sure whether that was
I mean, the other thing I'd like to add as well is just like, sometimes you run into this with Stickies, is that you might have one that fits in multiple places. And I think that it's fine to just copy it and, have, we can have an access cluster by itself that has access to knowledge, access to funding, access to education.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think it's fine to copy the sticky too. Some people are that.
Good idea. No, good idea. Because that's because the access to funding, there could be one around resources like resource sharing. The circle is all about reusing resources, so that could almost be a resource one.
Okay. So I already copied them. I put them down below the access cluster.
And obviously we can mix from both boards, right? That's kind of if we need to do that. If there's any ambiguity, we can also kind of discuss that or
I would put the high levels of civic engagement together with the collective decision making and changing perspectives.
Yeah.
There's something about there's down there decentralized models and data sovereignty. So that's all about, you actually being empowered with your information and your data, that sort of thing. So I wonder whether there's something about, is that its own one, like decentralized models, and it's almost about local ownership, or?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The triple bottom line focus, what does that mean?
Oh, I put that one, and that's around, it's not just the profit motivation, the economic motivation, it's people, it's a balanced view of people, planet and profit. That's what they call the triple bottom line in some approaches. So it's a real balanced approach to outcomes. I'll put it on the post.
Maybe that's somewhat part of in the bottom left corner, long-term thinking, mindset. Those ideas.
I see the flourishing local economy as well, like the concept of flourishing. I think is also relates to this people, planet, profit kind of thinking.
I'm really interested in people who've written power asymmetry, hierarchical power structures, and epistemologic bias.
So the epistemologic bias is just building off of what Dean, I believe, said about like indigenous knowledge being used, right? And then what we have right now is perhaps biases against certain forms of knowledge or certain epistemologies.
Yeah.
So that's just building off of that.
I think that's kind of, I feel it's somewhere related to hierarchical structure, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah.
What are insider circles?
So then I put this in as well. It's again similar to sort of the shortcuts for the few, but again, it's like it can be an insider circle where certain decisions are made behind closed doors, or it can be an insider circle where being in that insider circle makes available to you certain advantages or certain accesses that aren't available to other people. So these pockets of I guess, pockets of privilege, pockets of access. I kind of like that, special pockets of access. I'll just, I'll rename it that. Special pockets.
Okay, I think we could try. Have we got any kind of bigger themes on some of these clusters that we feel like?
Yeah.
I mean, that top right is definitely access. I can't think of another high level kind of thing to call it.
That's right. It's almost the inclusion versus exclusion, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of inclusion versus exclusion, I think, happening. Centralized, siloed, yeah.
And we could also think about kind of contrasting these two sides, because if I can see we often have, like here we have the group mindset. And then on the other side we had, short-term thinking and action versus long-term vision and thinking. And then we had somewhere.
Yeah. Ideally, we should have titled our clusters.
Okay, we can title them. We can kind of make them up in our head and report back when we do back in there. But it's okay. We'll go back into the breakout rooms.
Okay, so we'll have time to do that.
We can do that cluster. We can kind of at least put the finishing touches on when we come back. But we can just share some of the themes in general. We don't have to have named them like officially. So yeah, I will see you in the main room again in a sec.
Recording in progress.
Hey, we're back.
We are back. Do you want to lead this next bit? I'm struggling with the technology a bit.
Okay, I can do that. Let me, I just need to type in the one word that I deleted. Okay, what we need to do now is to group what we came up with in our, for some reason, in our respective rooms. So Paolo pointed out that we can only do that if we are the owners of the board. So I will take those that I did so far.
Do you want to share your screen?
Oh yes, sorry, you guys cannot see. That's correct. I will, and if someone can then come onto our, into our board and do the stickies on this side, that would be great.
Okay.
I will put them.
We didn't finish naming all of ours, just
okay.
I think we've got quite a lot, that's fine.
Well, whatever you have. So in here, this is what we will do. Okay. On the canvas, there are areas, right? One technological, economic, social, so different factors, environmental, cultural, or others. And what we do is kind of put these under these, into these topics that will then help us to work through that bit. I'm aware of time. We have about 17 minutes. Okay. Wesley,
I can help with team 2. So maybe if Jackie or anybody else on the team, if you can take the inhibitors per cluster. So you select per cluster group, and then you bring them to the big boards, and then saved social, economical, technological, environmental.
So
I'll do the same.
Yeah, frameworks. Yeah, exactly. Great. So let's do that. Frameworks. frameworks. These are frameworks. Okay. Okay, so now maybe, okay, the idea was that we will talk a little bit about these, but I think we can just now jump directly into the next bit where we formulate the how might we questions, which will be more specific, right? So we all kind of know
Oh, does Anna drop off? Yes. Okay, no worries. Okay, so to pick up where Anna dropped off, we will go into creating the how might we statements. So I don't know if everyone is familiar with how to create how might we statements. We have some tips here. We should, sorry, delete the cover so that you can see this. And let me share my screen. Okay, so if everyone can see this, there's a particular way of kind of formulating a how might we, and this helps us to get a little bit more specific about the challenge or the next stage, kind of the ideation that we would normally, that you might go into. And there's a kind of a way to do it. There's this, what we call like a sweet spot. So we need it to be broad enough that it doesn't allude, that it can, encompass as much kind of possibility as possible. By the same token, it shouldn't be kind of so broad that, you know, it goes off topic or kind of completely unguided. But there needs to be kind of a little bit of focus on there that allows you to, I guess, either see attention or to be able to define more, slightly more accurately. So it's somewhere in between. And here's some examples. So it says, how might we redesign travel? That's a little bit too broad, because then you have no parameters and it's actually far too open. Then you say, how might we create the perfect airline belt made out of recycled bottles? Well, that already gives you kind of the direction you want to go in and what you're doing. So that's too narrow in itself. And then the kind of better or best practice would be somewhere in between. Is how might we redesign an airline safety speech? Well, that's a little bit kind of more focused on the airline safety speech, but you might even sort of open it up a little bit. So how might we redesign our communications around airline safety in the early journey, or something like that. So it's somewhere in the sweet spot. That's what we're going to do now. I'm going to stop sharing briefly because I need to move my screen back. But what we'll do is we'll take what we have and then start to try and formulate some of these around the kind of problems or kind of issues and enablers and inhibitors that we heard about or that we created. I see Anna is back.
I am, I'm sorry. Sorry for my internet.
All right, I've explained the how might we's. So do you want to go into?
Oh, I think this one already done. Yeah. Yeah, so now each and every one of us will, you know, travel the canvas and try to formulate the how might we questions that are more specific and have those kind of positive boundaries that will help us to then dive deeper into how might we actually, what needs to happen in order to solve the challenge that we have. Is that okay? Anyone, does anyone have any questions with regard to this activity? If not, then I can set up a timer, right? We'll give it 7 minutes. Okay, and I'll put a little music, calm flow, and we can go. Can you put the how might we on the external circle? Not in the factors, but the, yeah, great. Thank you. I will put some stickies here. to help people kind of start this.
So just to say team one, I've got to move some of our stickies down here as well. So we're not, even though we haven't themed them, we're not left out of the how might we as well. But you can obviously use everyone else's as well.
Yeah, and use start every sentence with the words "how might we." And one other tip is don't try to integrate a solution in it, but keep it broad enough so it initiates a bit curiosity. Maybe also put in a very high goal, like go for the stars in order to reach the moon. That's also an option to do with the how might we's.
I like that, Wesley. Go for the stars to reach the moon.
Nobody's sharing the screen. Let me do that.
So I see quite some how might we's popping up on the outside, so that's great. So if you have any questions, just feel free to raise. So glance through all the topics in the middle, look at the challenge, and then see what comes to you in terms of how might we.
Okay. Okay, we really want to kind of look into those questions a little bit more in depth. I will shorten the time. I'm sorry for this activity by, well, let's say 1.5 minutes. Okay, then we'll have a little bit more time to kind of have a conversation without eating too much into people's time. I feel like I'm a police person. Okay, 5 more seconds.
Yeah.
Great, great. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Let's do the dotmocracy now. It's time for dotmocracy. So this is the next step, quite fun step. Oh, Marissa? Okay. So on the left-hand side to the canvas, there's a little frame with lots and lots of red dots. We are going to vote. So those questions, those how might we questions that you really like, resonate with you, you think they're awesome, please put a red dot there. So you can grab a dot, copy paste, or keep dragging them. I think easier copy paste. And if we can do it in like really, really quick, that would be great.
How many dots do we get? How many votes do we get, Anna?
One, well, as many as you want, as long as it's one person, one dot per question, right? So does that make sense? One dot.
Maybe
question.
three
so
to 5 dots a piece.
3 dots per one question, right?
Oh, okay. But I think we can limit it to 3 dots, so we can only choose 3 questions each.
Okay, okay, let's do that. Then 1 minute. On the other side, don't forget the questions on the other side. This is good. So how might we share our perspectives? How might we inspire each other to take action? Okay, time is up. Kind of. Oh, this is good. I like this one. Okay. So, do we need a little bit more time? Just like 30 more seconds?
Okay.
Okay, 30 more seconds.
One clear winner.
This is that. I think this is similar. There's some similar ones. Knowledge gaps. I don't know if I have knowledge gaps. Yeah. Okay, 10 more seconds. This is interesting. Okay. If someone, well, I don't know if there's someone who cannot see or access. Okay, some people. Okay. Okay. Stop now. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Marissa, who's the winner?
Well, we have one clear winner, which is how might we give a daily megaphone to the voiceless?
Oh, okay, this is a nice one. Let's put this one on top.
Yeah. Nice.
Okay. And any one more maybe, or 2?
We have 2 or 3 that are ties. Actually, we have 3 that are ties. One that says, how might we develop industry policy that rebalances the industrialization and disruptive technologies?
Okay.
And then how might we leverage AI to create a purposeful service-oriented economy?
Okay, great.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, Leslie?
I think those are the top 3 from what I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still three quite different ones. So one about industrialization, also technology, but then one especially on AI and service-oriented. And then the left one is very social, cultural, the daily megaphone. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay. Who wants to share, or rather, whoever wrote that, the winner, the big winner, wants to please share a little bit more, kind of like insights that go into this.
Actually, it was me. Sorry.
Oh, Wesley. Ooh, okay. Share with us.
I was thinking about these stars and the moon, so to exaggerate a bit using a metaphor, and that drives a bit these how might we statements. So then creating this metaphor of the megaphone with the voiceless, I think that could inspire many other ideas. So I'm interested to see what ideas this could generate. And in our group, it was also a key point of conversation, like the voiceless, because they're also not part of this discussion group. I think we heard Paolo talk about that. So I was quite inspired by all these comments. So that's why I went for this metaphorical voiceless statement.
That's cool. Thank you. Thanks, Wesley. And for the other two, if those people are here, how might we develop industry policy that balances reindustrialization and disruptive technologies? And how might we leverage AI? Is it Paolo? Whoever wrote these?
Maybe they've already gone.
No, maybe they're already gone. Okay. Well, that's really interesting. I mean, yeah. Marissa, do you want to?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
I think, Wesley, I think we discussed in our group that I think we have a kind of, a statement about the to keep balance in the, or to go to a more balanced industrialization across the world. I think this is.
Indeed, we discussed it in our group, the reindustrialization. I don't know, it was not me making the how might we statement. So is it somebody from our group? Could be, but could also be somebody else.
No, I was not involved. I didn't write. I didn't write this statement. But I think
from your side, Miguel, the reindustrialization, as you said, now maybe a lot of industry and production is based in one side of the globe, and with COVID, we saw that there are a lot of hiccups in the logistical supply chain.
Yeah, a lot of shortages and a lot of issues.
So that's something that brought us to putting that on the technological inhibitors, and that then inspired this how might we. So also looking forward to the next steps here.
Okay.
I just want to acknowledge that we are at 6:17. Officially, the session is over. We're happy to stay, and if all of you want to talk a little bit more about the insights or something that you've got, that will be great. Otherwise, we have also this little additional bit where we would love to hear your feedback and reflections as well. And the idea here is that we are leaving you hanging, because then we will take all those insights, all of those questions, not insights, and thinking into the next session on Tuesday. Yeah, so you have this time to think a little bit more about what we did here today, what we all kind of created here, all of those perspectives and thoughts and ideas, and think about the questions of how might we, and then we'll start working on them on Tuesday. How does that sound? Good?
Hopefully you guys can make it on Tuesday. We've tried to build this series for continuity. We weren't expecting it, but we were hoping for it. So that you get some sense of going through a little bit of a process. I think, we can definitely take what we've learned and kind of use it going next session.
So if you have time for these retrospective questions, like what was great, what was surprising, would be great to get your feedback. And then also looking forward to seeing you on Tuesday. I know Miguel was in the first session, so I'm definitely expecting Miguel to be in the third session.
I'll be there for sure.
Okay, great.
Oh, great. Thanks, Miguel. Really nice.
Yeah.
Muchas gracias again.
Just to share with you the reason we kind of trialing now, we're breaking it down into 3 different sessions under one topic, is because there's never enough time not to provide information, not to work kind of properly on the canvases, and that properly kind of make sense of what we have on our hands. And so we thought, okay, even if groups are smaller, that's fine. We want to provide a better opportunity to better kind of get into this and get something more meaningful from it. We don't know if it works for you, everyone, or not. And so that will be also great to get your feedback on. And even now, it felt like there's not enough time. For 1 hour.
Yeah, we're doing our best to improve every day, but every time. But I think doing it is more important than doing it perfectly. But
yeah, that's good. Oh, okay. Nadir shared that immediate thoughts under time pressure are a genuine one. I love this. May I put this on a sticky here on your behalf? I like it. Thank you. Yeah, that is true. When there's time pressure, we just like very quick and it's authentic.
I don't know about that, but I think it's a nice way to frame it. I mean, I think there are times when your brain isn't really selective, it's just kind of top of mind, isn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, time boxing helps from time to time. Speaking on time boxing, I need to get going. So if it's okay,
sure.
Okay. I'll drop off. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. It was great having you
Thank
here.
You,
looking forward to session number 3.
Thank you and congratulations. See
Have
you
a
next
great
week.
Day.
Thank you. Thanks, Wesley.
Thank you.
De nada.
Thanks.
Hasta la próxima.
Bye.
Hasta la próxima. Gracias.
Thanks. Bye.
And
where do you speak? Oh, okay.
Speak Spanish, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if you guys want to, sorry, if you guys, it's not appropriate. There are ladies here too. If you people, participants, guests, our teammates, if you want to unmute yourselves and just have a conversation and share your thoughts or questions, suggestions, we can still stay behind for a little bit longer.
Could I share what I mean by good exercise? Need more reps, repetitions. Is that repetitions?
Or representatives?
Which one that is? Okay.
Okay. Oh, I'm interested. What kind of jargon was here? Yeah, it's interesting. Systems and synthesis and framing. Well, what do you think? Was the framing? We tried to provide framing through the first session. In the first session, the idea was that those who attended the first one also, but maybe this is something we should pay attention to next time. Oh, okay, Nadir, you you didn't get access to recorded meetings. So the first session with our panel and with David Straw were posted in the SI community, in the SI network, right, Marissa? And on LinkedIn.
And they're basically the links to the YouTube. So if you would like to see them, sorry if you missed those, but if you would like to see them, Nadia, you can go to the YouTube, or you can find the links in the SI Mighty Networks platform.
Nadia, are you part of SI? Are you on the platform, on the Mighty Network platform?
I mean, I received some emails, and I'm registering myself to meetings.
Yeah.
But then I have kind of confusion because the time difference. I'm in Europe and you're in another part of the globe. So that is somehow confusing. So time to time I'm missing the email. Okay. But I will check my emails and then see if the link is there.
If you go directly, so it's not in your email, it's on the network, on the platform. So if you go to Mighty Networks for SI, Systems Innovation Network platform, there under the event, under
this particular
Singapore
event
Hub.
that for.
Yes, Singapore Hub, the event on inequality. You go there, you click, and there will be a thread of all the postings and sharings, and then you find the link there, and it will take you to the recordings.
Or you can just go to the YouTube, and there's an SI Singapore Hub YouTube channel, and you can also see them there as well.
Okay.
So
Thanks.
SI Singapore YouTube channel. Okay. So you can look for it there, or you can reach out to us in the network, and then we can share with you again. Is that okay?
Clear. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, that's great. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. Thanks for joining, Nadia. Hope to see you on Tuesday. It's the same
Sure.
time.
Okay.
Same time as now.
Bye-bye. Bye. Thanks.
Bye. Bye. Okay. So we have Steve, Hannah, and Joyce. Are we still recording?
Yes, but I can.
Oh, okay. Maybe we can stop.